Hello, people. I appreciate you tuning in, and I want to discuss something. And it's not going to be what happened last night. It's not going to be Jimmy Calandra. It's not going to be Fat Bull Sicilian. I'm going to discuss something more important. Basically, I want to discuss Anthony Riamondi and basically the finals nail in this coffin. Anthony Riamondi has made lots of claims, and most of all, his claim to fame is that he shot someone 13 times in the head, went to jail in Atlanta, and Ron Kuby came and got him out of jail, which we all know is true. There's three questions that I think really proves that this guy is a liar. The first one is his tattoos. And I have three children in the military. Well, they were in the military. Actually, two are still active and one's not. And the stolen valor, there's no doubt, there's no question that this man made money off of pretending that he was something that he was not. And that is in Vietnam. I don't think he was even in Vietnam. I don't even think that there's even evidence that he was in the military, let alone Vietnam. You know, he would show pictures in uniform or something. Everybody's taking pictures in Vietnam. Who doesn't take a picture in Vietnam, or any soldier for that fact? But you know what? We'll even give him the benefit of the doubt with that. Here's the questions I would ask him. The first one would be, why would a Marine tattoo an Army Special Forces tattoo on themselves? They wouldn't. He is a fraud who made up a story. He doesn't know anything about the military either. So that's my first question to you. Why would you have an Army Special Force tattoo if you were a Marine? There's a lot of conflict between all the branches. They don't get along. And if you're in one branch, you would never tattoo another branch's stuff on top of your arms and whatever. You just wouldn't do it. I'm sure that you don't have an answer to this, but you'll make up some answer. At least you'll get a chance to sit at home and think about it. Also, you haven't showed your face lately. It doesn't have anything to do with the military possibly looking for you. Because the little birdies told me it has a lot to do with it. You know, when you start claiming that you are part of the military and you're lying, and then you made profit off. I don't know if you made profit off your book. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see that many. I don't think you did, unless you got some type of advance. But I don't see why anybody would give you an advance. I don't even know if Vlad TV even pays anymore. But you know, if you did and you talked about your military, you made up about what your rank was and stuff, and being in the military and all the things you did, and you're lying, you know, you're not entitled to that money. Also, let's talk about Lupo the Wolf. You stated you knew Lupo the Wolf. He was a member of the Black Hand. And here's the problem. You were born in the early 50s. No one knows your age, but you were born in the early 50s. And Lupo the Wolf died in 1947. He was shot. They found him dead in his car, but on the steering wheel. So there's another lie. No Lupo the Wolf. You couldn't have met Lupo the Wolf. You couldn't have even seen Lupo the Wolf because he was dead. And here comes the biggest nail in your coffin. On Friday, I tried to reach Ron Kuby. Ron Kuby is pretty much a civil rights icon. He came up through, and then he started his tutelage under Kunstler. And as everybody knows, Kunstler was a brilliant lawyer. And then Ron Kuby came along, and Kunstler was his mentor. And then when Kunstler died, Kuby took over the business. But here's something I didn't realize. Ron Kuby was a witness in the second trial of John Gotti Jr. Curtis Sliwa, at that time, if everybody remembers, Curtis Sliwa was in a cab leaving his house. And unfortunately, he got in the wrong cab. He got in a cab with a couple of hitmen. And they shot him. They shot him in the stomach. They really did a number on him. By some miracle, God, he got out the window and he escaped. And Curtis Sliwa was going on TV saying awful stuff about John Sr., who at this time was in jail. And the hit was put out. And supposedly it was put out by John Jr. And then the government decided to charge John Jr. with the murder. I'm sorry, not the murder, the attempted murder and kidnapping. And so the trial was a big trial, and the government thought they had John Jr. on this. And you had Curtis Sliwa get on the stand and testify against John Jr., and he did a very lousy job. And then you had Ron Kuby, who was he was actually friends, and he was a radio partner with Curtis Sliwa. And what he did at that time is he called his friend a traitor for getting up there and defending John Jr. And I'm going to tell you exactly what he said during that testimony. Well, here's what happened. In 2006, Kuby was subpoenaed by the defense to testify at the second trial of John A. Gotti, the son of Gambino crime family leader John Gotti, which included the charges of kidnapping, an attempted murder of Kuby's then on-air co-host, Curtis Sliwa. Kuby testified that in the 1998 conversation, Gotti said he wanted to leave organized crime. He told me he was sick of this life. And that's what Kuby told the court. He wanted to rejoin his family and be done with this. Sliwa reacted angrily to his longtime co-host, his testimony for the defense, calling him a Judas. Though Kuby claimed he was following the law by answering a subpoena to testify. He was one of the great witnesses for John Jr., and John Jr. beat charge. And he wasn't charged with attempted murder of Curtis Sliwa, which is a very fascinating story when you think about it. Because this guy is also involved with Anthony Riamondi. Because Anthony Riamondi has made the mistake of saying that Kuby came down and got him out of the prison in Atlanta, and then he went over to the military. But here's the issue with that. Ron Kuby was only 14. Okay, so he's 14 years old. So I said to myself, maybe he made a mistake. Maybe he was thinking about William Kunstler, because William Kunstler was old enough at that time. And William Kunstler looks a lot, not face-wise, but the way he acted, he looks a lot like Ronald Kuby with the long hair. They're both very famous civil rights attorneys. I mean, Ron Kuby actually defended one of the victims of Bernard Goetz on the subway train and got him millions of dollars because he claimed that Bernard Goetz shot him after he was already shot and he couldn't defend himself. And he won that case. And then here you are, here you have this guy, even though he testified for John Jr., here he is all these years later. So I put a call into him on Friday. Never did I think he'd call me back. Never. This morning, my phone rings, and it's from New York City. I'm like, who the hell can be calling me from New York? And lo and behold, it's Ron Kuby calling me. Very nice guy. And he started laughing because he said, hey, I heard your message. And he goes, I had to give you a call because, this is, I've heard about this character and, out there using my name. And then I explained the story to him. And he said, you know what? I said, can you send me an email just stating what you're stating to me about Anthony Riamondi? And he said, sure. He said to me, just write what you want to write and I'll answer it back. And so I'm going to show you this email. Okay, this is my Gmail account. And this is what I wrote to him. I wrote, Anthony L. Riamondi claims that he was represented by you in 1970. I appreciate your call today and giving me the unexpected answer. I also, the expected answer, not unexpected. I also appreciate the fact that you went back and checked the William Kunstler records just in case you were confused with Mr. Kunstler. If you can please email this confirmation, it would be very much appreciated. Thank you, Mr. Kuby. And Mr. Kuby answers me right away. And he says, as can be easily verified, I was 14 years old in 1970. I was not representing anyone at that time. I also checked William Kunstler's original file system. It goes all the way back to the mid-1970s, but there is no reference to such a person, nor did Bill ever mention such a case or anything remotely like it. Ron Kuby. Okay, let's read that again. As can be verified, I was 14 years old in 1970. I was not representing anyone then. I also checked William Kunstler's original file system. It goes back to the mid-1970s, but there is no reference to such a person, nor did Bill ever mention such a case or anything remotely like it. Ron Kuby. I read that twice. So Anthony Riamondi can hear me. It's signed by Ron Kuby. So this is Ron Kuby, an attorney who does very well in life. He did not even have to. The man's probably so busy. The fact that he called me back is a miracle in itself. But he did. And he called me back because, this guy's out there making all these claims now, and it's all falling apart. So now what's his answer going to be to Ron Kuby? I mean, you're already on tape, on audio tape, saying that you were taken out of jail by Kuby. And even to give you the benefit of the doubt, we said maybe it was William Kunstler and you got him mixed up, but it wasn't William Kunstler either. So who was it? More BS from Mr. Anthony Riamondi. His whole story is fake. I mean, the amount of false stuff in his book, the amount of false stuff that he told Vlad TV is incredible. Vlad TV has had a couple billion people watch him since they've been in existence. Think about that, a couple billion. That tells you that they have a staff, because they can afford any type of staff. Why the heck wouldn't Vlad TV check this guy out a little bit? You got people with podcasts that don't have a pot to piss in checking this guy out and finding this information. How hard was it for a person at Vlad TV to get a hold of Kuby? I got a hold of him. He sure to hell would have picked up the phone for Vlad TV. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to put out. And all the other stuff going on, I'm going to do something different. But I really don't want to waste my time right now because I got so many things going on in my life. And I hope people enjoy this video and understand BS to it all. Now, I would tell Riamondi that he needs to go away. I would tell people that are putting him up, they need to stop. Unless you're just making fun of him and you want him out there, then that's understandable, because he's very easy to make fun of. Okay, and that's my video. I wasn't going to make it a long one. I'm going to drop this, and people just watch it and tell me what you think. Have a nice one.